Morning, it's Tim. It's an early call. It's 7:30, and what a difference a couple of days make in terms of global sentiment. But for the EM world, the headlines this morning continue to be supportive of valuations that look reasonable with an opportunity to move a bit higher. But the headline macro, Australian job data beats expectations. It's the highest level in 5 months. It's the best quarter in almost 4 years. Out of China, where we care about just about everything they say, People's Bank of China reiterated that they will maintain an appropriately loose monetary policy and improve the yuan's exchange rate mechanism. The Chinese economy will not overheat or experience stagflation is an article that's come out from the Xinhua news agency, and it's not often you hear these guys talking about these things. So some of the big headline concerns on China and some of that regional growth are at least looking better than they'd been talking about in the last couple of days. IMF has also gone out there and raised global 2010 GDP from 4.2 to 4.6. They cut the 11 outlook for every G7 economy except the U.S. And again, that runs a little counter to all the doom and gloom people have been throwing at U.S. economic numbers. So on the back of a fantastic move yesterday in the U.S., which many were caught off guard on and believe was done on very light volume and remain somewhat unconvinced. Emerging has had a good follow-through, but not an extraordinary follow-through overnight. China was actually down about 25 bips, but India up a little over 1%, South Korea 1.37, Taiwan up 1%. The big performer is really the Central European countries. Maybe it's stress tests, positive euphoria coming out of the European Union, which was a lot of yesterday's rally in the States, I believe. But Hungary up 3%, Czech Republic up 1.4, 1.5. The currency is also very well supported. Russia up 27 bips. A bit of a surprise here, especially with the strength in oil, which is now run higher for about 3 days after a very difficult bout. And again, the belief here is positioning in oil, which at one point was very bullish, I think has now moved down to a place where the technicals line up pretty well. People have gotten out of a lot of spec longs. Some of the spec shorts have been increased, and I think therefore you've got a room for people to get back into the long side and cover some of these shorts. But Russia underperforming here. Seeing South Africa having also less of a day than I would have expected, up 40 basis points. Their currency 40 bips stronger. But that's the news today. Again, we watch retail sales coming out in the States. We watch global macro news, especially as it relates to the mid-July release of stress tests for European banks as catalysts to take this thing higher. Thanks.